Guys, hello. Tony from the Outsider channel here. Thanks for joining me again today. And today we're riding in Crystal Cove State Park in Laguna Beach. So yeah, today's ride, we're doing Rattlesnake Trail and we're gonna loop in Old Emerald Falls, also known as BVD on Strava. The Strava information for this loop is below, the parking information and the MTB projects and Trail Forks area of Crystal Cove is included in the descriptions below. All the info you need to do this ride. Highly recommended. A little bit of climbing involved. This is the season to do it. Let's get to it. Your view is already intact. Usually always parking here, even on the weekends you can find a spot, even though it gets a little more crowded. Take a dip down the stairs, and then we're gonna head down Bomber Ridge for a nice little descent to open things up. After a short climb, another little fun fire road descent down Bomber Ridge. Watch out for hikers on the weekends. This is like a heavily trafficked area. One of the most heavily trafficked areas in the whole park. If you want to hit Lizard, usually I would take a left here. But we're gonna take a right onto Redtail this time around because we're switching things up a little bit on this loop. And one of the great things is that you can just go straight into this trail, flying off the fire road. Make sure there's no hikers, but it just goes straight into the Rattlesnake. We're headed down towards the ocean right now, which usually we're going side to side in Laguna. It's probably one of the reasons that I don't choose this trail as often as I should, because it takes you pretty far down the bottom with a nice climb back up. Really makes you work. So I think I usually hit this one up more in the winter season, if you want to call it that, in SoCal. A little bit cooler temps because there's not a lot of shade out here. But I'd say this is definitely one of the longest single tracks in the Laguna area that's a legal trail. So you get a bit of a climb for a bit. I actually kind of like it because it slows your roll a little bit before that big climb back out. One of the great things about this trail is that you're headed towards the ocean, so there's an appreciation station at every stopping point. Nothing wrong with that. I think if I remember right, this section is pretty rutted. It's like a half pipe. Watch your pedals. Ooh, sand trap. Wow, watch your pedals still, even on the climb right here. A little sideways. All over the place on that one. Don't follow my line. Bit of a techie section, I guess. How's it going? All right, I think we're about to pull into the rocky section. Yep, this is the very black section. Maybe take a look beforehand if you've never ridden it before. Came into that a little hot. Oh, it's pretty chunky. I am taking the easy line right now. Show you that first, and then we'll go back up to do the more technical section. So let's do this side. I got a little ahead of myself there. kind of want to do that one again. So for you guys that are wondering why I'm spending so much time in this section, this is what this trail is kind of known for. This rock garden right here. It's a pretty long rock garden that in person definitely looks a little more challenging than I'm showing you right now in the GoPro effect. That's where we just came from. If you've never ridden this trail, definitely size it up beforehand. Take this route on the side here first if you want. I mean, it's up to you, but if you just want to blast down it, you got the skill set, by all means, do over. And that's pretty much it for that rock garden section. Rattlesnake kind of winds around a pseudo-esque wannabe single track here. As we head lower into the park, the ocean becomes much more in view, which is always a beautiful thing. I'm slowing my roll here because at this point, this is really up to you. You've got some options from the bottom of Rattlesnake. It's a quick view of the map. It's kind of hard to read on GoPro, especially with the view I got on right now, but I'll fill you in really quick. We are right here where this little button is, Red Tail to Rattlesnake, and we can go out No Name Ridge, which goes back to Coastal Peak Park, or you can go down Mach 1 and take El Morro Canyon and continue your ride from the top of where Lizard starts. And El Morro Canyon is definitely more shady. No Name Ridge is just basically the straight up, let's get back to the friggin' parking lot. I gotta go back to work. I don't have to go back to work today, so we're gonna head down Mach 1 and up El Morro for another single track. This one's super fast. And we're gonna bang a left here, if I can make it. Yep. So we're gonna head up El Morro, and this is a pretty chill climb as far as Laguna goes. And like I said, it's pretty shady once you get into it. It's pretty. We're at a fork, slow and easy. We're doing a climb. Always make that choice. Not gonna go up something called elevator. I'm gonna have the option to climb up something called slow and easy. That's just me. Also, I don't even know if elevator is climbable. It has such a steep grade that it's daunting to even come down. So slow and easy it is. A little cross fork where we're gonna head up to the left and get back on Bomber Ridge and traverse over to Old Emerald Falls. And we're gonna head right up Bomber. And just as a heads up, if you guys didn't recognize Bomber there, if I took a left just now, that would just take us back to the parking lot. I always like to try to give you guys a perspective, because if you don't know the area, I know how confusing it is, because it was confusing for me when I started coming here. It kind of just feels like a maze at first. You're always checking your phone and your map. Where the hell are you? But once you get that kind of map memorized, or you ride here a few times, it's really simple. And we're gonna head right onto Morro Ridge. We've been here before, guys. These Laguna clear days, amazing. All right, let's go. So I like to say, like, this is when you really drop into the trail, because it's a nice little descent right into it. It's not marked, so you gotta look for the opening. It's hard to miss though. Got some awesome windy single track up top before it gets a little bit steeper into the descent. Really tight. Watch out for prickers and cactus. They reach out at you. They'll get inside you. Don't let them. There's a cactus right there. There's more to come. I'm always paranoid about falling into like a cactus bush. There's the cactus we're talking about. Stay away. Ugh. All right, we get a little steeper here. It's very dry right now. I don't have to tell you guys that. Steeper than it looks, just in case you were wondering. You get faster on this trail the more you do it, once you know the line a little bit. It's a weird little drop right here. And that trail's super fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that Old Emerald Falls is, I'd say, half black, half blue, depending on who you talk to, what your skill set's at. The top section's definitely blue. Once it gets a little bit steeper, you're tipping into the black category. Just take your time. If you're an intermediate, definitely doable to push yourself a little bit on the descent. Just, you know, use the brakes a little bit more. And we've got this fun ass climb out of here, which I'm gonna spare you guys this one right now and not bring you along for it, because this puts us on Emerald Canyon Road, and it's pretty simple to get out of here. You basically just take this sucker all the way up, take a left, and then follow that all the way back to Coastal Peak Park where we parked. This week's trail guide, Rattlesnake, Old Emerald Falls, and getting to know Crystal Cove a little bit better. Like if you liked the video, that's great. Subscribe and stick around because I got new videos every week. I'll see you next week, you guys.